What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another vlog, and today I'm in the Bronx, New York for the first time in a long time, and I'm going to be covering the neighborhood of Kingsbridge and the surrounding areas. I've been here before when I was doing a video about Spite and Dival, and look around here, and it's a beautiful neighborhood, pretty residential, and they got like a lot of restaurants by Broadway and over 231. So we're going to walk around here and see what's around here and show you guys what the Bronx is about, so join me. One thing about the Bronx is that it doesn't really get a good reputation, but the Bronx is really big, and there's every other neighborhood, good and bad. And I felt a little upset because a few days ago I was talking to a friend who was being in New York for 5 years. He lives in Queens, and then I mentioned him about the Bronx, and he was like, I'm scared to go there because it's dangerous. And like I say, you know, the Bronx is big. You can't really judge a few neighborhoods over the whole borough. So I'm here to prove you that there's a lot to do in the Bronx, and I feel the Bronx is unique. And if you want to experience the real vibe of New York City, you got to come to the Bronx. So walking around here, you see a residential area, apartment complex, and then over the other side of the neighborhood is Spite and Dival, like a residential area. Marble Hill is not far from here, so I'm probably gonna end the video over there. But just another section. Then you got a church over here. I'm not sure if it's abandoned, but it's like a structural building over here, pretty beautiful, with a lot of trees. So they gotta develop it so it can be nicer. And this over here is 231 on Main Street, where the one train line goes. I'm gonna walk over there later. I'm just gonna try to explore the residential areas over here, then I'll make it to the Main Street. So this over here is part of 231, which I remember I walk around here, and then you can see new development going on, like an apartment complex. And over there's like the border of another neighborhood. There's a lot of vegetation. There's a park there with some stairs that connects you to the residential area. And then the highway passes over there. Then you end up in the borderline of Riverdale. There goes a motorcycle. And of the borderline of Riverdale and Spite and Dival, which is around those buildings, which I'm gonna make a video for Riverdale pretty soon. I'm just gonna go explore the area. I'm gonna make a turn over here to see what can I find. Walk over here, and it's like any other regular neighborhood. And they got some nice houses over here. Might not be the prettiest houses, but you can see pretty residential, and some high-rise buildings over here with apartment complex. And like I was mentioning also, the Bronx is really diverse. I made a video, I think, like 6 or 7 months ago during the winter in Woodland Heights, which is an Irish neighborhood in the Bronx that a lot of people don't know about. And it did pretty well, you know. But it kind of feels like a little small town. That's, like I say, that's literally bordering Westchester County. Like I literally crossed the borderline to Yonkers. So that's why I'm trying to explain, you know, with different neighborhoods in New York City, and especially here in the Bronx. This is Kingsbridge. So I'm just walking the residential area, then I'm gonna make it a Broadway and show you what it looks like with the train passing above ground. And here they got this apartment complex over here. That's this old tradition building. I don't think there's much going on over here, so I'm just gonna go over this side by the hill. And you don't need a gym in this neighborhood. This is like in mountains. You can do a lot of cardio walking up. So I'm probably gonna make a turn in the other street, walk it to 238, and then make it to Broadway. Then there's a playground around here, then apartment complex. And I like how they got a little bit of a design on the top, like a triangle looking building. Like I said, the streets here are pretty nice, pretty quiet. And another interesting neighborhood you guys should have explored, which I made a video also, is all the way in the northern tip in Norwood. Made a video over there, pretty nice. And then the Pelham Parkway passes over there by Marsalou Parkway. And yeah, Marsalou Park, I think it was, and that was a really good area to explore. Like I say, you just gotta dig in deeper and not go where the media shows you. So as you can see, some nice looking houses. And residential buildings here across the street. So like I said, this is a really residential neighborhood with working people, you know. A little bit of diversity over here. But the vibe is really gonna change when I make it a Broadway. There's a lot of food markets over there, and a lot of people walking around. So you're gonna see that diversity happening. But it's good to explore around here. Then I'm gonna make it in the other side of Broadway to see how the neighborhood changes. This area here is pretty nice. Beautiful high-rise buildings. Quiet residential street with a lot of trees, and I believe in the fall season it must be beautiful too, you know. But yeah, so like I said, I got a few more blocks to make my right and show you the main street of the neighborhood. Any other neighborhoods in New York and North Jersey, here they're developing a new apartment complex. Looking pretty beautiful. The only bad thing is that this is in the north side of Bronx, so it's a little bit far. I would say like 40 minutes from Manhattan, depends what part, but yeah, I took the 1 train straight. The 1 train is really reliable. The only bad thing, it does a lot of stops, but I would say it's pretty reliable. Like I say, the further you go up from the Bronx, the better the neighborhood turns. So now I'm just making my way to Broadway, because there's literally like a shopping center. There's not much to see around, so I'm just gonna make my way to Broadway and make another right and show you what's going on over there in the streets. So this is Broadway. There you hear the horn, and the 1 train passes over here. Not much going on over here, but there goes the subway. Had to cut it short because of the subway, but like I say, not much going on, but there's like a couple of shopping centers over here, like business and stuff. This is Stop and Shop supermarket over there. Then I believe this is like an apartment. And then when I go further to 231, that's where you're gonna see all the business, all the supermarkets and stuff going on. And they got plenty of parking, so like if you own a car, it's easy for you to find a parking in the supermarket. So it's really convenient, because I know in a lot of neighborhoods in New York, it's really hard to find a parking. Then one thing about the neighborhood, it's pretty diverse, but the neighborhood's mainly Hispanic, so a lot of Hispanic people. So if you speak Spanish, it's pretty helpful. Like when I got off the subway stop, I bought some freshly orange juice from a lady, and of course I had to use my Spanish skills. So like I say, but this is the beauty about walking around neighborhoods in New York City, you know, the diversity. And the closer I get to 231, the busier it gets with all the business. You see the barber shops, everything going on. Then the subway train. Then I believe this is like a match shop going on over here. And they even got like an IHOP here right by the subway train. So I haven't had IHOP in years. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of local restaurants here that sell good breakfast, good food. I remember I ate in a Dominican restaurant up here. I think it was called Malecon. Not sure if it's still here, but I'll find out. Over here there's more business. Sorry if it gets noisy. But you get the feel of what the neighborhood's like. Barber shop here. A couple of shops they even put it in the street, so clothes and stuff. Chicken shop. I guess I'm really close to the subway train. Probably like a dollar store, a hardware store. A little bit of everything. Then the Malecon is like in the other side of the street. Then they got a bakery over here. And they got the stairs. You're gonna see this mostly in Uptown, the Bronx, and everywhere. They put it beautiful. So I decided to go up the stairs to see what can I find. Part of your view, but this is not the Joker stairs. Never been there. I don't even think I'll be around there. Maybe I'll take a look at it, but yeah, like I say, in a lot of neighborhoods uptown or in the Bronx, you're gonna see things like that. So I see a nice view of the train stations over there. It actually just passed in a couple of apartments over there. Go up the stairs, this is actually what you get, a residential area. Pretty beautiful. And here you see a little market with fruits. And then the entrance to the subway train right here. The 1 train by 231st. So this area over here gives me a little bit of a feel, Jackson Heights and Queens, where the street vendors, the subway line on top. But believe me, Jackson Heights has a lot more business around here. But it's a really cool neighborhood. So now I'm gonna walk a little bit over 231st and see what can I find. Here you can see some street vendors selling tamales, like mostly Mexican cuisine. And you got like a fruit vendor over here selling fresh fruits. And this is the other side of the entrance of the subway line, but I'm gonna make my right. Yeah, so far so cool, you know. Then like many of my videos, I'm passing another highway right here. Not sure which one it is, but kind of reminds me a little bit of the highway by Union City, by 495. Then I'm gonna go deep further to see what can I find. So here I'm crossing another stair to see where can it let me to. I think it's gonna let me to a residential area, so we're gonna find out. So once I got up the stairs, it led me to a residential area. It resembles a little bit of Highbridge neighborhood and Norwood, so we're gonna walk around. Some beautiful apartments. Also another park in the Bronx that I've never been. And it's actually bigger than Central Park. It's Courtland Park. So maybe one day I'm gonna walk and check it out. So also another fun fact about the Bronx is that the biggest park in New York City is in the Bronx. It's called the Pelham Park, and it's really big, and that's where they got the Archer Beach. It's not Central Park, even though it's the most famous, but the biggest park in New York City is actually in the Bronx, going up north by Co-op City. So one day I'm gonna check it out. And then here you can see a lot of residential area. You know, a lot of people, they focus on the touristy things in New York City, but there's a lot to explore around. Even local neighborhoods like this, and this is what I like to explore. Local areas, like I said, this is my first time here. I'm just tracing the map and going with the flow, and you can see houses like this. Has a little bit of a feeling of Staten Island by the ferry by St. George. So I'm gonna cross the street and make a couple of right here. So a nice looking residential street by the hills. Curvy, and I like how they designed apartments with the curve. And this is like a workout here, like a cardio. Then another apartment complex, they got properties for sale here. So like I say, I'm not sure how much is the rent over here. But I know the Bronx still remains affordable, is the most affordable. But I know some areas are starting to change, like Mott Haven. So then another nice street with houses over here, trees. And I like how they're elevated up in the top. So I know I'm in the hills, so I know this area most likely it's not gonna get flooded. But yeah, kind of like the borderline of Kingsbridge. There's also another section called the Kingsbridge Terrace. I'll probably make my way there depending how I feel, but I'm probably gonna make my way there and see what's going on, and then walk all the way to Marble Hill, a little small neighborhood in the Bronx, and I'll probably wrap up the video over there. So here you got some nice houses and nice apartments, and over there's a reservoir, like a lake, a huge lake over there, but I guess it's like blocked, so I can't really see the water. It'll be better with the drone footage. But I think ahead of me is gonna be a couple of parks, so I'm gonna check that out. Nice houses, and they got a Puerto Rican flag where I'm from. Like I said, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans up in the Bronx, a lot of Dominicans too. Huge Latino community over here, so. But yeah, really love the area, and it'll take forever to explore the whole New York City. So many streets, so many blocks, so many types of neighborhoods, you know. So don't just stay to the touristy area, you know. Don't be afraid to explore other neighborhoods. So walking around here, I came across a little park, but pretty interesting in the middle of the neighborhood. So they got like a playground over there, and then a little park. I'm gonna see where it takes me to, but I'm just gonna walk curvy around, and I'll probably end up in another section of the neighborhood. So this is actually the lake that I told you, so I guess you can get a nice view over here. And other areas of the Bronx right here, so. And then nature over here, a couple of parks and residential area. See some nice houses. Yeah, but this is pretty interesting. So I'm making a detour in one of the streets over here, and this is actually Kingsbridge Terrace, another section around the neighborhood here in the Bronx. And this is like a nicer area. You got the park over here, and then you got like beautiful apartment complex over here surrounded. I can see that's a new building. This is like a little older version. It gives you like a nice vibe, and the trees surround it. So I'm gonna walk a little deep inside the neighborhood to see what can I find. But then you got this over here. Nice park for you to chill, you know, during the summertime. And beautiful apartment complex. So let's see what can I find further. Then out of all these buildings, this is a nice looking house right here. Whoa, I almost fall down. Yeah, this house is pretty nice. This apartment complex over here is nice too. And I guess this is more like a residential area. So this area over here is pretty nice, gotta say, to say the least. Just look at this. All these beautiful apartments over here with the trees and everything, you know. And you never would have thought you got places like this around this area. Like I say, this neighborhood, this borough right here in New York City doesn't get a good of a reputation, but look what I'm walking around. Pretty residential, pretty beautiful over here. And here's another street, and look at these beautiful houses. The trees and everything, brick houses. I'm a fan of brick houses. So you can see this street is full of some nice looking houses. I'm gonna walk my way to Marble Hill right now. So now I'm going down the hill, West Kingsbridge Road, to connect to Marble Hill. Good thing I'm going down the hill. It must be an issue to go up, but still pretty cool. You can see what the neighborhood looks like. A lot of apartments. Must be fun to ride a bike downhill like this too. So I'm probably gonna pass the one train underneath, and then I end up in the other section of this neighborhood. So now I'm in the section of Marble Hill, but I want to show you something. I'm literally in the borderline with Bronx and Manhattan. I'm gonna show you the bridge over here. This is the bridge, this is the river, and over there you see Manhattan. The Metro North pass over here, and this is the Bronx right here. So it's a really cool section, and I think that line over there, the Metro North, is the Hudson line, and it usually goes around the Hudson, so you get some really beautiful views. But now I'm just gonna walk the tiny neighborhood of Marble Hill. This is Broadway, the 225th subway train, so let's walk over here and see what can we find. And you got a little mini market over here. Fresh fruits vendors, a couple of shops around here. So it's like a convenient neighborhood too that has it all. A couple of restaurants over here too, I believe. And this over here is Marble Hill Avenue. And like I say, this is a lot of apartment complex. It kind of goes like curvy and stuff. So it's not really big. I think I could just walk it within a couple of minutes, the whole section of Marble Hill. But it's kind of literally like inside Kingsbridge section. And I see some pretty interesting things over here. So here you got some residential areas, some apartments. I think this is like a new building over here. And this is actually my first time walking around here, but I heard good things about it. They say it's a good neighborhood. And I can see that. I can see that's really convenient. It has a subway line. It has a Metro North, so however you choose you want to commute to the city. I mean, in Manhattan, this is also part of New York City. Then you can figure it out. But it's always good to venture different neighborhoods and get a feel what the neighborhood's like. And here we are cruising around, and here's another of those stairs that takes you to the subway line over there. And this kind of feels a little bit like Norwood. Look at this house, how beautiful it is. Wow. Yeah, it's amazing. I love how curvy this building is over here. Then it connects with another building. Here I am walking in between. And I gotta say, to go up the hill must be crazy to go on a bike in this, but this is just nice. All these houses and stuff is beautiful. Wow. Yeah, really amazing neighborhood over here. And a hidden gem, I gotta say, like any other neighborhood, the Bronx is also full of hidden gems. And I would have never knew about this neighborhood over here. Found out because I walk through it and I explore. That's the beauty about exploring, and that's what I want to do with the channel. And as I'm walking around Marble Hill, look how beautiful this church is over here in the corner. It's like a church that you can find in a little town. It's like a church you can find in a small town, but really beautiful, the structure and everything. Then now I walk around 227, and you can just see this structure over here. Like I say, it feels like a small town. And then this has some nice architecture over here, the houses, structures of the buildings. Goes up the hill. And I think it's another neighborhood added to the list that I can see myself living. Yeah, I like this one a lot. They're pretty cool. It's a really quiet street. So you can get even peace here in the Bronx. And the funny thing that is a different vibe when you walk by Broadway where the one train passes. That's where all the crowd happens, all the business and stuff. But like a lot of neighborhoods in North Jersey and New York City, like once you get off the main street and you go to streets like this, it's pretty much residential, pretty quiet. And like pretty pleasant to walk around, especially with the nature, the trees and everything. And I think that's one of the few things I like about the summer, except for the heat, but like the way you can see the vegetation and the vibes is so different. So this neighborhood is literally on a hill, and I guess that's where they got the Marble Hill. But it's pretty interesting to see, you know, the apartment complex over here. And then over here is like really deep inside. I can see actually the river over here is beautiful. It's a nice view, and too bad with the trees you can't see it. And that's Manhattan over there. Literally like the section of Inwood, which I made a video over there a couple of months ago. So then the Metro North should be down there. I'm probably gonna go down and end my video over there. So here's this bridge, and it connects you with the Metro North train. So I'll pretty much show you a lot of this section around in the Bronx. Walk from Kingsbridge, Terrace, and I end up here in Marble Hill. And you can see a lot of beauty happening around here. So that was the end of my video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.